You may be asking yourself, this doesn't look like his usual area. Well, that's because it's not. And in case you haven't figured out, this is not the duplex anymore. That's right, everybody. Sorry I've been a little busy lately, and I haven't been getting videos out very often, but it's all in good for good reason, because I have been in the process of moving. And I'm still in the process of moving, but I've got a little bit of a lull in all the action here, and I've decided to bring you, my loyal subscribers, another review. Now, this one, I gotta say, I'm not too proud of, but I had to do it because, come on, it's horror. And don't worry, Godzilla-thon is still underway, but I'm just going to take a short break here in between. Don't want to get tired of it, just kind of change things up a bit. But anyway, yes, this is the human centipede. So, you ever have one of those crazy ideas and you think it'd be, like, disgusting, but then someone makes a movie about it and you're like, that was as disgusting as I thought it was. Well, that's kind of what this movie was. So imagine a bunch of people kind of put together and, like, all one thing, and they all have to move and eat the same thing. That's kind of like what this movie's about. And it's, anyway, let me just go through the story plot, the storyline, which is not really that in-depth. So basically, the movie starts out with this German guy kidnapping somebody. And, you know, he's German because, you know, he's wearing the long boots and the sunglasses, and he looks scary and his skull's about to pop out of his skin. But, you'll find that out later. Then we cut right to some girl tourists from America, and they are going throughout Europe and just happen to be stopping in Germany. And on their way to a party, they break down on the side of the road, and we get this very uncomfortable scene where a stalker slowly drives by their car without helping them, but just staring at them. So, yes, that already is a good start to a horror movie, right? But it gets, oh dear, it gets worse than that, believe me. But yes. They then go to a nearby house where this person seen earlier lives, and they try to speak to him in German, and he just stares at them, and then they speak to him in English, and he just stares at them. Turns out he can speak both, but he just likes to stare at people, I guess. So they ask if they can use his phone, and they, of course, can. And he brings them into his house, and he's real weird and creepy and stuff, and you kind of have this feeling like he's collecting people for some reason, isn't he? And, well, sure enough, he is. But, they are soon to find out that he has more than their best at heart. And that's exactly what happens when he decides to drug them and knock them out cold. So when they wake up, they're in a hospital bed in some weird, very sanitary dungeon in who knows where, with this big fat trucker guy next to them. They all wake up, they all start going, because, you know, their mouth's closer, like that. I don't know. But they start screaming and trying to get out, and they can't because, well, they're tied to a bed. And then he comes in and says to the big trucker guy that you don't match, and so he, of course, gets rid of him. And so he goes and gets another guy, a smaller person, a Japanese guy, as a matter of fact, and which kind of seems a little condescending, seeing as how he's more the size of those two girls, but, you know, anyway. Then he goes through his evil master plan in English so we can all understand it. So it turns out this German guy was actually a world-renowned Siamese twin doctor. And he kind of became obsessed with the whole idea of multiple organisms living as one single unit, and decided to make a human centipede, and we'll get onto that later. But anyway, his main idea is to put 3 people together, and they will live off each other and move as one unit. And he explains how he would do this. And this was actually one of the major selling points of this movie back when it first came out, was that it was 100% medically accurate, which, I gotta say, it kind of sounds right. I mean, it sounds right when you say it, but still, I don't think it would, I gotta say, I don't think it'd work. But anyway, he says it's right, and so, yeah, I guess, why not? We then see the surgery, which really wasn't as gory as I thought it'd be, and they wake up and they're all sewed together. Mouth to... Hold on. This is where stuff gets real, let me tell you. He not only cuts their kneecaps so that they cannot walk, they can only crawl on their hands and knees, but he also sews them together by putting their mouth to anus so that the back two can live off on the front, on the one in front of their waist. Yeah. Just think about that for a second. The heck was he thinking? Not the doctor, the guy that made this movie. What kind of a freaking twisted mind comes up with bullcrap like this? Oh. The rest of the movie is basically just them moaning in pain, walking around, and this vain German guy taunting them. And the guy in front is actually the Japanese guy, so no one's speaking English throughout this whole thing, except the doctor does kind of speak English to him for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he can understand it, but yeah. We pretty much just see him taunting the centipede, the people, and the centipede just groaning and moaning and stuff. And it's actually kind of painful when you think about it. But yeah, and we even get, we get the crap eating scene. But of course, locking up human beings in a dungeon and turning them into terrible monsters like this, you're not going to get away scot-free, because the police do find out. And they come to his house, and while both the cops die and the doctor die, the centipede tries to get away, and turns out the front guy dies, the back girl dies, the middle girl is just left there, just crying and moaning. And that's where our movie ends, guys. Not a happy ending here. So, at the end of this movie, I pretty much just asked myself, why? Why? Why did the director do this? Why did the writer do this? Why did the actors do this? And why did I do this? It's just nuts. It's like, I can't even explain how disgusting this idea is, and I've seen a lot of twisted movies, but this one has got to take the cake. I'm not even kidding. It's not that it's gross and disgusting, it's just that the idea is, and that there really isn't a whole lot of substance to it. I mean, sure, it is kind of interesting and intriguing how they have a language barrier between the German and the Japanese guy to kind of make it seem like they're two different entities now, you know, the centipede and the doctor. But still, I mean, and there was other cool, just cool additions in here where the director, probably a good director, terrible idea, but good director, just you know, showed through, and he was good. But still, yet, the idea, the material here is not a whole lot to work with, and I gotta say, I wasn't even in the least pleased with this movie at all. Now let me tell you, I knew going into it that it was going to probably be a massacre of a movie, but still, I was not expecting it to be this realistic, and it was. So it wasn't really much as like a horror movie as it was just a realistic, painful snuff film, practically. And it is a foreign film, so that gives it kind of a weird feel kind of a weird underground, illegal feel to it, so I felt dirty after watching it, let me tell you right now. But I can't say I recommend this movie because I just don't recommend it. I mean, do you really need to know why I don't recommend this? It is, I mean, come on. But if you are a cinema fan, if you're a film critic, if you're a person like that, if you're interested in movies, this might be sort of interesting. If you are into the horror genre, like really deep into it, like more than me, then you would probably even passably enjoy this movie. But if you're anybody that is other than that, like anyone else in the world, then you're not gonna want to see this movie. Just let me tell you that right now, okay? Now that said, like I said, there were some good things about it, but most of it wasn't. So yeah, why did I see this movie? Because I heard it was a big deal, it was a cult classic immediately, and I just had to see what it was all about. And boy, did I. So I gotta give this movie the Disgusting Award because it was disgusting. But anyway, have you seen the Human Centipede? I also know that there's a sequel that has almost nothing to do with the first one. I hear it's pretty much a piece of junk, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to see it, but if I do, I'll review it for you guys. In fact, comment below if you think I should review Human Centipede 2. Please don't make me go through that. I really don't want to. But if you say so, I must. But anyways, thanks for watching this review, and Godzilla-thon will continue sometime when I'm done moving, hopefully. Anyway, until next time, I'm Creature Hunt Guy, this was Human Centipede, and I'll see you later.